Good day, everyone. This is Need to Know with Tosyn. Good day, daddies, mommies, uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters. Yes, this is Need to Know with Tosyn. Just like we've said previously on this channel, is for everybody. Yeah, but our main focus is on our teenagers and our parents. Let's say parenting the teenagers. Yes, because we actually say, and which has been our motto, a good formation of a teenagers makes a better youth that brings hope, truth, and dignity to the world. So you can see in our motto, when you have a good formation of a teenager, it precedes further for a better human. It makes a better future. It makes the environment conducive enough just because we have the right people around us. Thank you for those who have been subscribing. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all. Thank you. Please keep subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting. Please, I really want our comments. You know, this was actually born out of a great passion. The passion, looking at the community, looking at the environment, and seeing things happening. What is happening with our teenagers? And when we traced it, we realized that it's the teenagers didn't just, they didn't just wake up one day to become a teenager. It was a process. And of course, we've discovered that everything in life is all about a process. There have to be a process. Whatever you do hurriedly, you may get an hurried, yes, an answer that will not be worth it. Need to know with Tosan. I see it as an opportunity to bridge the gap between the parents and the teenagers. We like it or not, daddies and mommies, there's so many of our teenagers that are not happy. There's so many of our teenagers that are out there doing things that are not right because this is how they feel. And nobody cares to understand how they feel. But what their friends advise them to do is what they are doing, and that is why we have this turnout. Need to know with Tosin wants to help the community, the environment, the nation at large to curb the rate at which teenagers are going into violent acts, at which teenagers are becoming irresponsible. We want to curb it. Because if we don't curb it and we say it's none of our business, let's not forget our children are growing and they will all meet in one area or the other. But the earlier we are able to curb some of those characters, those attitudes, the one within us, we are able to teach them and make them understand this is the right way to go in love. Just like our parents to say, there's a way our parents, there was a way they were taught during their own time. Yeah, just like they say, 21st century teaching this is, but we need to get it right. Child A is different from child B. You have four kids, they are not all the same. Different characters, different mindsets, different understanding, and we can't change that. We only need to understand them and fix it right. We only need to make them understand, okay, on this part, okay, not totally wrong, but you can do it in this way and it will be better. Need to know with to sign. You ask a girl of 13, a boy of 14, that's where teenagers start from. And they have a whole lot of secrets. that none of the parents knows about, or if it is a single parent does not know about at the age of 13, even at the age of 10. Why? Because when those evil acts or whatever it is that is making them keep those secrets, some other people somewhere are giving them that understanding, has given them that mindset, has made them to realize that if you talk, this is going to happen. If you talk, I'm going to do this to you. And you see those children bottle it up. So many of us are speaking out now about what has happened in our teenage years and early years, and now because we are seeing same happening, and we just cannot contend it anymore. We just feel okay. This was my own experience. It doesn't have to repeat itself. No, need to know with a sign. I just like I've been saying, this is called out of great passion to help our youths, our teenagers grow and grow well. Of course, we know there's a difference between growing and growing well. You can grow and not grow well. You can grow and become irrelevant. You can grow and become relevant to the society. As teenagers, we must also understand that whatever our parents, however our parents correct us, they want the best for us. No parent gives birth to a child and grows to hate that child. No. It's just the way and method that may be different. That is why you may go to your friend's house and say, oh, I wish this my friend's mom is my mom. The way we grew is very, very different. But there's need for understanding. I could understand those coming from the point of single parenting. I could understand it very well. Because in single parenting, just one person is doing two people's work. It's doing the work of two people, two in one. And of course, things will go wrong. Things will go wrong because even in one person, you are not perfect. As a person, you're not perfect. Not to talk of doing what two people are supposed to doing and one person is doing it. Our parents love us so much. There's no parent that will go through that point of labor pain, whatever pains, to come to bring that child out. 9 months, the process, and giving birth, and you now want to hate that child. It's not possible. Even those that do that is born out of something, and I'm not sure that person is okay. But no matter what you give it to a child, there is so much love, so much joy. And that joy have to continue even when you see them getting married. There's a point as a parent where we get to and I will say, yes, I've been fulfilled. This is called fulfillment. This is called fulfillment. Because you look at other people's children, you see the way they behave, you see the way they act. We can be better. We can make a better teenager. We can make a better parent. We look around today, look at what is happening. Teenagers are the one in the forefront of whatsoever things that are not right. They are the one in the forefront of things that are not good. Why? The society has its own, but we should not allow the society get into us. That which is in us should be bigger than what the society has to offer. And so therefore it should conquer whatever it is that the society may like to bring. I don't know if we should call it plead, but I'm calling out to parents. Please, just like I said in the previous video, train up a child according to proverb in the way he should go, And when he is old, he will not depart from it. Those were words of wisdom of God using his prophets to talk to us. There is a way, there is a procedure, there is a manual. Yes, a manual. You heard me right. At which that child needs to be trained. Which means, as a parent, your responsibility is to ask God, which way am I to go? How am I to train this child? How am I supposed to overcome all of these challenges of parenting? How? Why? Because we are only caretakers. We can't take care of our children by ourselves, if not by the grace of God. I don't know if as parents we have taken time to look at our babies, maybe most times when they're young. You look at them while they are sleeping and you're thanking God. This child is sleeping, breathing on his or her own, normal. Are you the one that made that child to sleep? You can only pet him or her to sleep. But you didn't force him or her eyes to get closed before he sleeps off. That is God. So why would you remove God from parenting? There's a purpose at which we are meant to be. There's a purpose at which we are created to exist. And if we are not functioning in that place of existence, if we are not functioning in that place where we are meant to be, we are just living without fulfillment. And to every of these children who will give accounts. I look at those ones on the streets. I look at those ones who have smoked out their lives already. I look at those ones who you see and you are like, they gave birth to these ones. They greeted the parents. Congratulations. Why? Why are we here? How did we get here? You need to know with to sign. I want us to discuss. I want us to talk. I want us to share our views. And of course, as time goes by, we'll be having people, one or two of us coming around to talk and shed more light on some of these topics that we've got. Today, we'll be talking about raising a better teenager. Raising a better teenager. Of course, in churches, events, schools, around, there are teenagers that when you see with their attitude, with the way they behave, when you see them, you know, yes, this is a trained child. This is from a trained home. And there are some when you see them, you be asking yourself, is it the parents that failed or the child that didn't yield? Why didn't the child yield? The one that yielded, what was the secret? We like it or not, I want us to understand that we cannot raise a better teenager outside God. Not at all. Yeah. So, which means as a parent, at or from the day one of that child, all through the lifespan of that child, all through till as long as you are alive, hale and healthy, you're praying, you're giving the child back to God. You're making him realize he's the one in charge. I came across three of our teenagers, and some wrote, and one of them talked about insultive words. Yeah, I get that point as a parent at some time when this kids will, just get on your nerves and you say one or two words and you don't even know where it's coming from out of annoyance. And there are some which they are used to it. They wake their children up with abusive words. They take them to school with abusive words. The children go to bed with abusive words. How do we expect that child to grow in abusive words? We can't raise a better teenager in using abusive words on them. Abusive words wouldn't make them change. Go and check. Nowhere. It won't make them change. Instead, those words you're using on them, those negative words, why don't we turn them to positive? Why don't we convert them into positive words, into positive energies? That even if they are doing the wrong, but for the fact that you are speaking life, for the fact that you are speaking positively into their lives, you say what you want to say. And by saying what you want to see, that is the result you get. But when you're making a child understand that he or she cannot amount to anything good in life, a child you gave birth to, even if you didn't give birth to that child, when you're using such words, so what do you expect? So please, our parents, please and please, let's curtail our anger. No matter how angry we are, the use of abusive words will not take our kids anywhere. The use of abusive words will not make them grow better, will not raise them well. I remember those days, of course, because all of us have one been in teenagehood before we got to the stage. I remember those times in secondary school, even in the university, when maybe some people will talk to you and they will use some abusive words. Even for those, even when somebody will tell you you're stupid, you're mad, easily, some could easily say so. I would find it so difficult. I'll find it so difficult to say to reply the person, telling the person you're stupid too. It's a level of training. And those times I will wonder why would somebody be so comfortable to tell another person you're stupid? You just have misunderstanding and it results to insulting words. Check where that child is coming from. Check where that child is coming from. Please, parents, whatever we sow is what we are going to reap. I've said it before, if we raise insultive words, these insultive words, there's a way it could cage a child. There's a way it could make them timid. Some it could make them timid, some it could make them grow wild. Saying, after all, my parents have no trust in me, they have no belief in me. I'm an abandoned child. Okay, let me do what I want to do. And that is the end product of some that I think we see on the streets, under the bridge. Because we don't have faith in them. Let's place value on what we have got. When we place value on what we have got, other people will live and learn to place value on them. When we don't value our children, when we don't value our teenagers, when we don't value them in the right way, we'll see them acting anyhow. In raising a better teenager, let not insultive words be part of it. And she actually, let me also share, she actually talked about nonchalant attitude to sudden behaviors. Nonchalant attitude to sudden behaviors. I am still trying to understand the fact that As a parent, you can't say, okay, my child used to be this, or this is what I know about my child. Okay, it changes. I think with the little experience I'm having now, even as a baby, you there's so many things you start noticing the changing from one point to another, you know. Not to not talk of when a child is so grown, the child that you have nursed from zero to a teenager. When that child is happy, we don't know. When the child is sad, we don't know. No, it's not right. Please, parents, let's start paying attention to our children. That child that is under your roof, that you feel, oh, my child does not talk. I've once heard a parent, I was asking about the child, and the parent said, oh, we don't really say, um, we'll stay in the same house, but in a week we may not see each other. You stay, you live, you sleep under the same roof, and you say in a week you may not see each other. How? In a day, a lot has happened. Not to talk of in a week. When we don't see them, how do we even want to know when their attitudes have changed? This child used to talk, this child used to be so vocal, and now the child is so timid, keeps quiet, does not really talk, just watch. Something has happened. What is that thing you're missing? You should find out. How do you feel when your child or your children looks at you and tell you you don't know them? Hmm. How do you feel when that child tells you, mommy, daddy, you don't know me? And in his or her as a teenager, it means that child must have been battling with a lot. A lot has been happening. How do we help them? We need to be more closer to them. In raising a better teenager, we need to be closer to them. We need to be their best friend. We need to be their hero. We need to be that person, that man, that woman, that parent they will look at and say, even as a single parent, that they could still say, despite all odds, I'm grateful. Nobody knows how to do it better. Only God helps us. Please let's pay attention to our children. Please, let's pay attention to them. A child tells you, Mom, Dad, no, I want to be alone. I don't want to talk to anyone. And you say, oh, sometimes she likes to stay on her own. Of course, there are kids that could be like that, but in between, we need to know if what we still think it is what it is. I was asking some teenagers. I was not even asking, I was telling them. I said, I'm sure at this age, you have secrets, right? You have past. And I remember in my teenage age, I used to say it then. When I hear about past, when people talk about past, this is my past, and I'll be like, wow. I think in secondary school days then, I'll be like, oh, so someday I'll be having a past too. And now, of course, not just having a past, but past this. If there's anything like that. But as parents, do we know about them? Are we in the lives of these children? Are we in their lives? Yeah, of course, that understanding is there. There are times these teenagers they don't want to talk about it, you know. Before you know it, you get to a stage, they are having friends they're talking to already. Daddies, mommies, if we are close to them, that advice they want to go and hear from a friend, even though they will still talk to their friends outside, they will still come back to talk about it with mommy. They'll still come back to talk about it with daddy. And in whatever we say, we should be fair enough. We talk about using insultive words, which is not right, to train a child. Nonchalant attitude towards our children. Please, it's high time we start paying attention to them. That work you're going to, you rush out every morning, 5 o'clock, come back 10, 11. The children are asleep all through their lives. And you believe you know that child. And you want to believe you own that child. Hmm. Earlier, I talked about growing and growing well. You may as well give birth to a child and you don't own that child if you don't know fully about that child. If your housemaid is the one that sits and take care and listen to everything your children have to say, you need to start getting it right. If your sister, brothers are the one around taking care, listening to them, paying attention to them, giving them advice, if it is their uncles, you need to start getting the understanding. So many children have been destroyed, even with the impact of relatives. Yes, all because we want to be busy, or we say we are busy. I'm working this hard because of you. I'm doing this because of you. Your money is not enough. Money is never enough. It's not enough. That attention, that care, those prayers, those words of advice, being for them at every stage, being there for them at every move will go a long way. Parents, is high time we know our kids. That when someone from outside is telling you this is what your kid have done, you could only say, "Oh, thank you. I will attend to it." And when you get in, you know what your child can do, you know what your child cannot do. And God will give us the wisdom on how to go about it. By the time God gives you wisdom, when somebody tells you your child have done this, has done that, you will not beat that child, even when you know that that child can't do that. Please, parents, this is a wake up call. I read something somewhere where they said the man beater of today was raised by a parent, which means the parent failed. The woman adulteress of today, which means the parent failed. A good formation of the teenager. It's just like when the child is still in the womb and God repackaging, doing everything one step at a time, putting everything in shape. That is how, even when they are out, we will always understand that the process of creation even continues, even up to now. When they are out, just as God packaged them in the womb for us and brought them out, we still continue that process of creation in behavior, in every aspect of life. You see some teenagers, they can no longer kneel down or prostrate to greet any longer. Because at home they don't. They don't. And yesterday I was actually thinking, I said, even in I think basic two primary school English textbook, there's always this part where they will write, Ada wakes up to greet our father, kneels down, and they will show the picture there. So this is not about tribe or anything, but a normal thing to do. But now we'll discover that it's no longer like that, and parents don't even pay attention to it. We see that it doesn't matter. And when you spell out that, it seems like you're looking too much. Please, please, let's make up our mind to do it right. Don't forget, just like I said before, this is need to know with to sign. Parents, I know it's not always about, I know we do our part, but let's do more. And I know that God will help us. Thank you so much. I love you. Please continue to subscribe, share. For those sharing, thank you. God bless you. Share. Let's talk. Let's make it right. Let's correct our wrongs. Let's make them right. For us to raise a better teenager. As parents, we need to learn and learn well from the one who made us. I love you so much. Don't forget to drop your comments. Thank you. And together, we'll make these children great. Together, we'll make their dreams come true. Together, we'll reduce every form of irrelevance in their lives. God bless us. Thank you so much. Love you.